People called me crazy when I left home to fly the big trapeze. People called me crazy when I stopped giving out apologies.
I'd like to welcome Kate McDonnell to the Mostly Folk studio today. Kate, where are you, by the way?
Thank you, Artie. It's nice to be here.
In New York.
I'm outside of Albany.
Oh, so you're not that far away, really, from where I am in the Catskills.
Right.
So it's so good to talk to you. And Kate has a brand new album out, and the album is titled Trapeze. And the folks watching this on television or on my YouTube channel, well, it'll probably, the YouTube channel, it won't get on till later, but for those folks watching on television, Kate's going to be performing in Walton. What's the date? I had that up here.
20th.
The 20th on the 20th of October. And for those of you,
which is a Sunday.
Yes, that's so great. I love it. Really, if it were earlier, I would be there because I love Sunday concerts. But it's at 6:00 on Sunday at the Walton Theater. Is that where it is?
At Walton Theater, there's a coffee house that's associated with the theater.
Okay,
apparently.
right.
Yeah.
I performed at that theater.
I've never been there.
I performed there. I performed magic at the Walton Theater itself a number of times. It was a fundraiser for when they were redoing the theater, and so. Yeah, it's a nice little place. Yeah, I haven't been to the coffee house though, so it'll be in the coffee house part of the Walton Theater. So Kate McDonnell, as I said, has a new album out titled Trapeze. But before we get to the album, let's talk about Kate and where you grew up and how you got involved in music. I know you started playing guitar when you were 4 years old. Is that true?
Well, I mean, it depends how you define playing, but I was playing with the guitar when I was 4. And that's probably the best way I can put it. I really wanted to figure it out at that age. So I spent a lot of hours with it. I grew up in Baltimore.
So did my wife. My wife grew up in
is that right?
Yeah.
It's a good place. Just north of the city, like a mile north of the city.
Okay.
And I listened to a Joan Baez record, and that was in my mom's collection, and that was it. I was transfixed and transformed, and I went straight to the guitar and knew what I wanted to do.
So she was an influence. What else? What else were you listening to then?
Well, that young. So I listened to anything in my mom's record collection. She had a good collection of everything from classical to jazz. Kind of a 50s kind of jazz thing. Nothing too experimental, but of that era, my mother's family. My mother comes from a family of musicians. And so there was a lot of music in her house growing up, including her father and her grandfather, who both played trumpet for the National and Baltimore Symphonies. Her father played the trumpet and grandfather played viola. So there was always music in that household. Wow. And so I came at it with a lot of good background that way.
I guess you started off by playing the guitar and listening to who were your influences as far as the guitar goes?
Yeah, well, as far as the guitar goes, I didn't really pay a lot of attention to the guitar until I was about 16 when I discovered people like Leo Kottke and Mason Williams and gosh, there's so many guitar players. Carlos Montoya. My
Steve
mom took me
Howe.
to see Carlos Montoya. Jose Feliciano I used to listen to. Anybody who played the guitar. I wasn't trying to play like them, but I just knew that more could be done with the guitar by listening to them. And so started to focus on that.
And you picked up a guitar and started playing. Now, did you have formal lessons or did you learn on your own?
No, I didn't have lessons. There might have been a time when I could have done that, but I picked it up the wrong way. So I play it upside down and backwards. If that makes any sense to you. So I take a guitar that's strung right-handed and I just flip it over and I don't restring the strings. I don't change the order, reverse the order. So a lot of people have asked me about my guitar playing. Why do I play upside down? And there are a number of answers to that. First of all, I'm right-handed. That may come as a surprise to some of you, but it's my strong hand that I used to make chords when I was very little, when I picked up my mom's guitar when I was about 4. And I also thought that the low string went on the bottom and the high string went on the top, and then I would see that the neck in a photo and the neck of a guitar went out that way. So, or on TV, someone playing the guitar, the neck went that way. So I just mirrored it. Made sense to me. And let's see, and then the strength of the hand, being 4 years old, you don't have a lot of strength. So you're like, which hand is going to be able to hold down these chords? And so that was, that's how it came about. And a number of guitarists or people in general have asked me about, do I think it sounds different? Is it different? Yeah, it's different. All the chord forms are different. For a person who plays, well, anyway, I could illustrate, but that's kind of boring. But the main difference is my left hand, which would be most guitarists' right hand doing the picking, but my left hand, my thumb does the melody, so those notes tend to be a little bigger, fatter, and my middle finger, the special one, is responsible for the bass notes, but I tend to like a really heavy bass sound because when I discovered guitar players when I was about 16, I discovered Leo Kottke, and he has that big bottom end sound, so that was something that really appealed to me, and I started to incorporate that into my playing. So that's kind of how my style came about, and I'll just play something else that might be more familiar to you. Something I learned from a Leo Kottke album 100 years ago. So it's a little bit of a strange way of playing, and they don't do a lot of lessons in that configuration.
No, so yeah, so that's
Yeah.
that's really interesting. That you play it that way. So Kate
Yeah.
McDonnell, and she plays the guitar upside down and I don't know, backwards, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. But in
Yeah.
any event, Kate is renowned for many skills, her skills on the guitar as well as her vocals. And she's won a number of awards at Caraville and a couple of other places. Tell me about some of the things that
Oh,
you.
the most recent, I did contests a long time ago, and then I took a long break. But the most recent one was through NERFA, which is the New England Folk Alliance, and New England Regional Folk Alliance, and there was a songwriting contest that they had. They're in state. I think they're in the third contest of the year, but I won the first one, and one of three people. So it's a songwriting contest, and uh, that was the most recent. Before that, um, I'd have to look. I mean, so
Oh,
Plowshares
can
is
I?
one.
I'll tell you. You
Yeah,
in '89, when you started writing songs, and in the '90s, you were named a new folk finalist at the Caraville Folk Festival, which is in Texas, and a finalist in the Falcon Ridge Folk Festival showcase in New York.
yeah.
So Kate's new album, once again, is titled Trapeze. So, but I did want to also mention that you, despite your the folk career or whatever you want to call it, there's never
Yeah.
I hate to attach a genre to it. Singer-songwriter, career and performances at various places. That's not the only thing that brings home money for you. You also went back to school and got a degree in. Well, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not doing it anymore. I stopped in 2020,
Oh,
but I
did you?
did. Yeah, I did. I was a therapist, a child therapist, in schools, and I worked mostly with special ed children.
Hmm.
And but yeah, so I went in 2009. I went to Smith College to do their social work degree, and then started doing day treatment and programs, and then eventually into schools. So I did that. The whole thing was about 15 years, and then COVID came along, and
Mm,
I was having to do my sessions online with special ed kids, which doesn't really work very well.
uh,
They're
uh,
playing Minecraft, you know, they're like looking at the computer maybe if they show up, and they're not, they just can't engage this way.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
and I thought, you know, it's I I can only do one thing at a time. I know a lot of people who can do more than one thing and do therapy and music, but I just don't, I'm not, my brain doesn't do that. So I decided to go back to music
Oh, good for
in
you.
2020.
People called me crazy when I left home to fly the big trapeze. People called me crazy when I stopped giving out apologies. And though the air seems lighter now, and so much clearer somehow, somehow. who paid a voice that was never mine. She'd pin me to the ground any time that I stood up to shine. So I wrote my dreams in the dark, but I left no pencil marks that give me away. When I am gone, when my breath returns to the air, let the world know that I did not refuse to dare. When a dreamer loses hope, a trapeze is just some ropes that hang in the sky, that hang in the sky. People called me crazy when I left home to fly the big trapeze.
So anyway, let's talk a little bit about this new album. This is what, your fifth album?
It's my sixth.
Sixth album, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how did this come about, as far as, putting it all together?
Right. So about 3 years ago, I was invited to join a songwriting group where you get a 3-word prompt every week. I know a lot of songwriters doing this now.
Yeah, I know. I'm wondering whose group it was. Was it
Yeah.
or was it just who started it?
Steve Clare in Beacon.
Okay, because
Yeah.
there's a number of songwriter groups, which is
Yeah.
a neat way of doing,
It really is. I mean, it's not interactive as such. It's basically it's really becomes an exercise every week. On songwriting, you're not doing it for feedback, or you can give feedback if you want, but it's really just doing laps around the track,
Okay.
It's working out those songwriting muscles, and so I've been doing that for about 3 years, and all of a sudden I've got, a lot of them are awful, but I ended up with a huge folder of songs. I'm like, I got to do something with these, and I culled it down to 14. So I had a bunch of other ones that could have gone on, but it wasn't reasonable.
That's
So
so
that's how
great.
those songs came about. Yeah,
So,
most of them.
by the way, Kate's website, which you should take a look at, is Kate McDonnell with 2 L's, not McDonald like in McDonald's. It's McDonnell.com. And you could find out tons of things about Kate, see videos, find out about this new album, order this new album. I always advise folks to order, if they like to order an album, order it through the artist's website. It's the best way to go about it. But there are, the Bandcamp is another okay way.
Yeah.
And
they're pretty good.
stick away.
And of course, coming to a show and buying one off, from
That is the other way of doing it.
My sister's name was Jezebel. She did the best she could. Folks Folks called her a bad, bad girl. She just misunderstood. Her hair so black it glinted blue, like sunlight on a starling. She'd go with anyone, they said. She's anybody's darling. My sister's name was Jezebel. That's what Daddy named her. I was younger by 1 year, helpless while he shamed her, while Daddy hounded Jezebel. Mama looked the other way. I knew we had to grow up fast and make that bastard pay. One day he came home stumbling drunk as Mama went to town. She said, "You keep that fool inside, he'll hit the creek and drown." No, girls are strong when times are tough. We did what needed doing, all alone when Ma came home. 2 girls and coffee brewing. My sister's name is Jessica. She changed it 'cause she could. Folks call us those bad, bad girls. We're just misunderstood.
She's, as we said before, she's going to be in Walton, New York on October 20th, 7 o'clock at the Walton Theater in the Coffee House. Thursday, November 9th, 14th in November, she'll be in Glens Falls and Gloversville. And so a lot of her performances are going to be in the area that the TV audience may be interested in. So
Wonderful.
let's hope that this gets out there. Well, definitely,
Yeah.
I'd like to get it out in time for the
Yeah.
Walton. But if you check out Kate's website, you'll find that she may be in your area. So, by the way, do you do house concerts and things like that?
Oh, yes. I love house concerts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish I could do that. Yeah, I don't have enough friends, I don't think, to invite to a house
It's a good way to
concert.
make friends.
Actually, yeah, that would be funny. But yeah, and that's another way that artists uh, make a living these days. So
Yeah.
I encourage
Yes.
folks to, if you like Kate, maybe you could sign her up for a house concert. So anyway, Kate McDonald, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate the work that you do. And again, I ask people to check Kate's website, katemcdonald.com. And there's lots of information about her and videos, the new album, Trapeze, and her performing schedule. So check her
Yes.
out.
Come to Walton on the 20th.
And right, Walton on the 20th. And,
Yep.
hopefully we'll see you there. Uh,
Yes.
Kate, thanks a million for
Thank
joining.
you, Artie.
And
I
maybe we'll
appreciate
meet
it.
again. You're not that far
Yes.
away. Who knows?
Yep. That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you reaching out.
You're welcome. Enjoy your
Great.
day.
Thanks. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Upon further inspection, there was something there in motion, almost beyond detection, baby. I poured my third old-fashioned, and the topic of discussion took a pivot from no to maybe. Come over here, come over here, I wanna kiss you deep and strong. Come over